Well, hello, Dr. Barry. How are you doing?
Doing so good. How are you?
I am doing just lovely. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Dr. Barry. Hello, Psych Nerds on Dr. Barry's channel. Dr. Barry is a regular here on both channels. No, y'all, I didn't play the song because we got about 30 minutes before they come back on. So we were just behind the scenes, literally just dying talking, right? So y'all have heard me talk, at least on my channel, all day long or whatever. I want to get just your initial thoughts, Dr. Barry. What is going on with this dude?
I have never seen a direct examination go so bad in a very long time. Like direct examination. And the state was allowing his lawyer to try to lead him and he wouldn't just say yes. Like so his lawyer would be like, "Weren't you doing that because you heard her say?" And he's like, "Oh no, that wasn't it." And he goes off and gives this big long explanation that sounds worse than what his lawyer said. And his explanations for things, it just like I literally yesterday I had to grab my red flag. Like I had to this is so bad. It's so bad. I didn't think it could be so bad. So I was up. So I had to start late streaming yesterday. So I started about 9 PM. I went until like 12:50. I went to like AM, to like 12 AM.
So what did you do? Did you stream? Because I saw you had like this 3.5 hour stream. Did you stream his testimony and just talk
Streamed
about it the
his
whole time?
testimony and talked about it because it just I didn't think it could get worse. It started weird. It started with him being like he looked happy. He looked extremely happy, but I think he doesn't want to be viewed as an angry person, and a lot of people have talked about that being his mask, and that over time, the mask kinda comes off or you get to peek behind it, and it's concerning. The things that talks about as though it's normal, you're like, That's not okay." You did what?
Have you listened to have you listened to today? It's not funny, it's so bad. It's almost like we're being pranked,
So which which
okay?
which which part of it had you doing that?
I mean, almost all well, in the very beginning, he just starts off and he's like, "Yeah, I went into her phone, these are the screenshots," when he sneaks in her phone, and then he starts talking about, a flow chart of all the time she spent on WhatsApp, and you're just sitting here like,
Who
"This
has
is"
the time? He did the math. He had time
literally.
to do the math. He was breaking down, this is how much time and I think he's calculating, this is how much time she's not with me, and I think he's taking it
Mhm.
incredibly personal, which would be like, as a spouse, there's a part of me that can see how that would be upsetting, but the level it goes to for him, like and that's where we start talking in general about a narcissistic injury, where something
Mhm.
happens where it breaks somebody's core to the point, and for him to be searching Darvo.
That part right there. I almost fell out. And today he talked about it, like, of
When?
course I would look that up. Obviously, that's what she's
I
doing.
missed I missed that part. Did the state? Because I was hoping the state saw my direct, because to me, his explanation of what happened first of all, his explanation of what happened on the hike doesn't make any sense. Why would she, on her birthday, all of a sudden, while they're on this kinda scary hike, why would she start talking about a planning a trip with Mr. Miller? Why?
Literally.
Why? Like, it doesn't make any sense, and they said testes too many times, like, it was just it was
It became like
so
this running joke where I was like, "They're gonna say it again. They're gonna say it again. They're gonna say it again." It was like his shock factor word.
but and then he laughed at one point, and he's talking about, supposedly her with obviously 3 hands, because how does she have him this way, and she has a rock, and she's blocking her face? Like, I don't understand how all these things are happening.
Just like
Like, it just it made no sense, and he's saying it with a straight face, and so that's why people literally so my stream got a lot of views because when people left the live, they were like, "I need to under," like, they're like people were like, "I need therapy after watching." They're like, "Please help me." And I'm like, I'm with you. 'Cause okay, I have to talk with you about what was your reaction for his explanation of the secret recording device.
I mean, all of it was like, okay, wait, now the secret quote. What did he say about the secret? What was it? What did he say again? I don't
The
remember what he
reason
said.
why he purchased a secret recording device was because he was concerned she wasn't telling other people the truth about her behavior and the affair, and they were getting a bad idea of him.
Okay, yes. Okay, so much. I know.
I was
So
like,
much. What?
so for Dr. Barry, I would have understood. So I was prepared for him to say he bought the recording device to make sure that she wasn't still talking with him. I would have been like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. But to monitor her conversations with her friends and her family because you think she's not giving an accurate narrative, despite, because if I was that friend, Giada, I'm not, but if I was that friend that, so I'm out to dinner with my friend and my husband and their spouse, and my friend gets up to leave and their spouse just tells me that they're having an affair and they don't tell my friend first, I would be like that would be so weird. And the fact he doesn't get that is not okay. And so we talked about smear campaign, that
Mhm.
he was trying to ruin her. And the state asked him about that. They were like, because and he's like, "Oh no, that wasn't it. That wasn't I just know it was minutes before." I don't believe him when he said it was minutes before he told.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, it was wait. He was creating a narrative, period. How about him calling what's her name? Jeff's wife or emailing Jeff's wife, right? Jeff Miller, yeah, Jeff's wife, and putting her phone number, Ariel's phone number in there. Here's this. I just want to let you know.
The
I
state did a phenomenal job talking about you were trying to embarrass her. You wanted to
Mhm.
punish her. You wanted that, and I don't think Miss Miller ever like that, because that would be I'm staying way out of this. Like
Oh
this
yeah.
is if
Oh
I
yeah.
got that type of email, I
Can you
would have
imagine?
been, because I don't think Jeff was deleting messages. I don't think, now he probably had a difficult conversation with his wife, but I don't think he's probably showed her the messages. And they're saying good morning. They're saying what they had for lunch. They're saying like, this is what I'm doing with the kids. We're decorating the Christmas tree. Like it wasn't this racy, salacious. So Brian Walsh, not that he was justified, but like and so and there were other people that have had true emotional affairs, what I would consider a true emotional affair. Um, it's bad. It's so bad.
Well, see, I didn't see anything in the text messages either. Like, and this is what I was talking about to the chat and whatnot when I was watching. I was like, a lot of this depends on the couple and what their
Yes.
boundary, what their boundaries and what their rules are as to whether this is cheating to somebody. Because I was like, for me, if I saw this, I would be like, this could be. And again, it depends on so many dynamics. This is a little preliminary, like 5 steps before an emotional affair. I didn't see any kind of information in there that was like
I love you.
divulging, like, I love you. Oh, I'm not really happy. But it would be a little bit like, well, this is a little comfortable to me. Like, that's how my interpretation.
Yeah.
They're a little comfortable with each other, but he acted like he called him in the marital bed.
And I do agree that I think she was disconnecting from him and getting attention and support from this other which would make any spouse upset, but
Yeah.
not to the point of pushing somebody off a cliff. Do you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
where he gets a little crimey in my opinion, based on the allegations of the state,
Now,
based on
did
the
you
charges.
pardon me. Did you see before court started today when they had the little thing, and basically the state is wanting to introduce the fact that he would hold if she didn't give him sex, he would tell everybody what she was doing or whatever. And I'm like, I hadn't heard that till today, and I was like, "What?" And I'm like, it completely doesn't surprise me.
So I knew that that was in their divorce documents, I believe. And, but the judge, because it's very prejudicial, and they also ruled, I think, that his prior monitoring of his first wife's devices, that's not going to come in either. Um,
Which that was another thing I was like, "What?" But it doesn't surprise me again. I'm just like, so this is a pattern.
Did you know Jeff lived in Maryland? I didn't realize based on everything I didn't know he was all the way in Maryland. Like,
Well,
so he talked about everybody else's business in a way that you really didn't have to.
yeah. Has she ever actually met Jeff in person at a
Yes.
work thing? Okay.
Yeah. So they were in South Africa together. They were there were work trips. So it might have been a total of 3 times in person. And he's alleging that she changed to the hotel, that there was upcoming trip to Seattle, that where she changed her hotel to the hotel that Jeff was going to be at. But she said, like, she was cut off before she could say, but everybody else, like, that's the hotel everybody was going to be at. Like, it wasn't just him. That was going to,
Mhm.
because he was making it sound like she was intentionally trying to be there, because it's almost, I think he wants to make it look like there was groundwork being laid for it becoming something physical. And even if it was, you still shouldn't try to do what he's charged with.
Oh, I mean, e exactly, and it's like, the way that oh, let's talk about this real quick. I'm kinda
Right.
jumping all over. How about the son taking the stand? Number 1, calling him the defendant. Number 2, still living with her, right? And then when the son got up there and he's just like, "Yeah, dad FaceTimed me and was like, yeah, I just tried to kill her and do this." I'm like, "You took this to trial?" All the elements that I've seen so far for attempted murder have been presented, right? I don't know how he's gonna get out of this or how he thinks he will, but I
So,
think that he thinks he'll talk his way out of it.
yeah.
He seems very confident and just matter of fact and like, "This is what anybody else would do in my situation if this was their marriage."
I wonder if his lawyer tried to say, "Hey, can we take a 'I snapped' versus
Mhm.
like what about like a 'I snapped'? Or could we take a different approach?" I think he wanted self-defense, and with self-defense, he had to get on the stand. The only
Mhm.
way he can claim self-defense is if he gets up and says his side of the story. That's how we got to see Brendan Banfield. I don't know why
Mhm.
Nicholas Cassotis, I think he just wanted to. I think
He
he just
was
wanted to be
bored.
on Choice.
He was bored that day. It wasn't
Nobody
commissary day.
Nobody could understand federal agent Jim McIntyre if he didn't get up there and get on the stand. And this whole thing, and a lot of people are talking about how he's dressed down, and I wonder if that was his, um and Hawaii might be a more casual court in general, but other people have worn suits. But, because a lot of people were just commenting, people comment about different things, but
What's also interesting that he's allowed to have that flask, that little drinky thing that he gets or whatever. I'm like, "Oh, they, like, just give him that?" And he kinda just stands up like he's really comfortable on the witness stand. He, like, gets up and points to stuff. I'm like, "Why is he so comfortable in the courtroom?" He's just but again, it all matches his personality. And he's really had this little subliminal smirk on his face a lot of the time. It's really disarming. To me, he's really shown his mask today because it's a little bit drier testimony. The state's kind of more matter of fact, like boom, boom, boom. And he's just, well, he's holding court. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought somebody was saying it's back
who
on.
knows?
I've got it on another screen going and I just kind of check it in, but it's in about 15 minutes. They're supposed to be back. Um, so we'll check back in. Um, the other thing too with this one that's so unique is that Ariel lived to take the stand,
I'm so glad
and
you did.
right? And
And
it's
I
like,
don't think he intended her to.
"Oh, no.
I
Mm-mm,
don't,
mm-mm."
and for him to say he lost the bags,
He threw that
I'm
you
I
know
misplaced I left them somewhere on the, because we heard the drone, lady that's flying the drone trying to search all over up and down the mountain. Like, they searched for it. They wanted to recover whatever evidence they could. So how do you think he got the injuries to his face?
Okay, this is my theory. So after he was like, "I'm caught," right? I think that he stayed on that mountain. I think he got rid of the evidence. I think he stomped around. I think he beat himself up. I think he did stuff to him. Now, also when the cop fell on him, I think some of that could have been that way. So the two versions that I go with is he could have punched himself to do, like, if he thought like, okay, I'll say this and do self-defense. But I also think when that cop clobbered him, surely he's gonna get bruised up in that.
Because they say he was tackled on the road. He says he laid down on the grass and nobody ever fell on top of him.
But see, he's trying to make it like he turned himself in. I'm like, is that what we're calling that these days? Is that what we're calling
And he was
absconding
like
and running
he
from
was
the
like,
cops?
"I decided to live and I turned myself in."
He
It was
made it like it was
very
this big thing.
I
I
decided it was
I made the choice to keep going. I have my kids. I have my wife to live for. Okay. Yeah, he was like trying to do all the things. He was like, I had a conversation with God up there in the mountain. I did the right thing. I came down after 6 hours. He was trying to run, but I love the fact that as soon as he came down the mountain, they called him. Like they were just right there, like, oh, hey, here he is, the guy in the bloody t-shirt, you know. It's just, and thank God those ladies were there and nurses at that, and they heard this going on, you know.
the defense had
Yeah.
tried to minimize her injuries and minimize what happened, and to say because her injuries weren't life-threatening, that it shouldn't be attempted, but I don't think that was plan A. I don't think rock was plan A.
Yeah,
And
what do you think? Tell me what your theory is on this, because I 100% believe that he had the syringe and whatever is up there with him. So these are my two thoughts. I was like, he was either going to drug her and then roll her off the edge so that when she did hit or whatever, there's no chance of her living, and if it's like so she could yell for help or anything like that. And that's kind of where I stopped with it. What do you think what's your theory on what his intentions were?
and I think when she refused to come up higher, I think it made him escalate things faster. So I don't know that he was ready with everything. Because I don't think because she doesn't talk about seeing the syringe until they were on the ground. And so plan A could have been just push her and not have anything, because he seems like a planner, and he called himself meticulous. He called himself hands-on and meticulous. And I was like, is that the language we want to use? And, I don't know for sure, but I suspect that it was some type of anesthesia, something that would knock her out. And then because she might have passed, or she would have passed from, they would have believed it was just the fall, that he wouldn't have wanted an autopsy. So then they wouldn't have found any medication, like they wouldn't have done a toxicology, because cause of death would be like they look in blunt force trauma from falling. And so
And I'll bet you so you can see it a little bit on the stand, these like glimpses of his face. When his rage came out on that mountain or any time, I can assure you he looks like a completely different person. And like this monster comes out in his face, like
he's
just this anger.
he's on the stand like, "I'm not mad. I wasn't mad. I wasn't angry. I
Yeah.
wasn't angry.
Okay.
I was sad," but once again, like, trying to make himself the victim, I think.
Oh, yeah. And the way he started crying yesterday, did you, or when he's like, and he even asked for can I get the tissues?
But then turned
Yeah.
away from the jury. I didn't see tears. I could like, it looked like his eyes were kinda watering up. And my just personal thoughts is he's crying about what he's lost, how this has affected him, how
Mhm.
he feels about things. Uh, maybe look I don't know, because I think the self-defense is so he doesn't look like a bad dad.
Mhm.
Because if he tried, let's say it was the "I snapped," like she mentioned, I don't know, like if they tried the "I snapped," he would still be somebody that tried to take out his wife for no reason. And I think he wanted a defense, and those eyewitnesses saw him, and he only admitted to what, like, could fit within the evidence.
Mhm. Now, remind me real quick, or do you know, he's been incarcerated this whole time?
Whole time. Because
Okay.
if he was out, because it's attempted, and I would s I would be concerned, and I think the judge was probably concerned, to release him prior to this going to trial.
Oh, yeah.
Because if he was out, he could possibly have to get visitation or something. Like, there could be some weird stuff that happens
Mhm.
with the children, and so what's safest for Ariel and everybody, So I don't think he was given bond. I could be wrong, but he's been incarcerated all this time. That
When
because I think
all
that's where he's lost weight because,
yeah.
when they showed him standing next to the police officer, because he was and not but, like, he wasn't as, like, frail looking as he is now.
Yeah, he's definitely way thinner. He had looked, like, healthier, if you
Mhm,
will, before in some
mhm.
of the other pictures, and he's definitely lost a lot of weight, and he just is very wiry looking, you know? When he got on the stand yesterday, that was the first I've ever, like, heard, him talk and whatnot. I mean, immediately within the first 60 seconds, I was just like, "Ugh," and even though I know there's a bias of, okay, what he's accused of, whatever, but even that aside, there was just this energy that came from him, like the way he spoke, the way he maneuvered and just carried himself, that I was like, "This is the last person that a lot of people see before they go under for surgery. This is frightening," right? I was just like, I can't with this guy, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse.
And
Um,
on cross-examination, have they started asking him questions about the day of the incident? Not yet.
we are so far away from that. Like, literally, I'm like, "When are we gonna get to the incident?" We're still on spreadsheets about WhatsApp and cheating, and I did this and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's everything that he's asked now is this long-winded snoozer of an answer, and him, "I didn't do this," and, what the state has done today so far is just basically shown people like, if I was on the jury, I would be like, "Oh, this guy thinks that all this is normal, and, oh, this guy was, like, this level of stalking, and he was doing this." He's really just showcasing how unhinged the doctor is, and how because now I'm thinking this, I'm like, "What was a normal day in their house like?" It had to be pure misery, p even before
Especially
the affair, or the
especially
affair.
after. Especially after, um,
Oh,
there were
yeah.
probably things and he's hinted at that with that in marriage therapy, there were other issues that now he probably wanted to focus just on the affair, but that
Mhm.
there were other things, but, wow.
It's also really interesting how, like, every other word out of his mouth is the affair, the affair, the affair. Like, literally, you would have thought that this is like a Bridges of Madison County situation that he would like came home early from his trip on. And I'm just like, he goes on and on and on about it. And I do think it's just this injury where he cannot handle the fact that there might have been some other attention. Because I was like, absolutely want to see what the other guy looks like. At minimum, I know he's taller than him, you know?
Well, they if you go back, I think it's trial day 1 or so, or maybe when she testifies, they show pictures because there's one of him holding his family member's dog because so pictures of him have been entered into evidence.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
It's just like and again, like, you don't know what his household's like because, like we said, to them, him and his wife, this might be like, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is nothing," But now it's like this huge, massive case is unfolded. B-Lap says, "I'm getting Charlie Adelson vibes," right? Like, there's, like, all these recognizable traits in him, and then, okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, the testes convers that whole thing, I think that he wanted to do the whole testes conversation. Obviously, it fits his narrative of self-defense, and he wanted to make it sound like, "Well, she had me she was holding me and beating me up and hitting me and doing this," and, you know, I I don't know how some of the jury members maybe didn't laugh out loud over that part because it didn't make sense what he was saying and describing the interaction.
And I think she did admit at going at him there, but I don't think it was the length. I don't think it was what he described. I don't think it was what he described.
He made it sound like she carried him up and down that mountain 2 or 3 times, by his crotch and just had her way and all this, and I'm like, "Dude, seriously? No, that's not no, absolutely not." Now, work with me for a second because I'm gonna go ahead and set the screen up to
Sure,
share the screen and all that because it's getting close to that time.
sounds good.
Please hold. Technology in progress,
Yes.
because all of a sudden it'll just be on. Where is okay, there we are. And then it's rare that I have And then, so when it comes on, I'll do it like this.
Perfect. That works.
But now I can see, wait, where'd you go? No, we need you. We don't need, okay, there we go. Where'd you go? And in a second, I got to go get the dogs because they're
No
starting
worries.
up their little thing.
No worries.
I'm just going to put them in their little cage here. So
No.
yeah, the fan, I don't know if you're watching earlier, but the fans up here, they blow. Oh wait, I did my thing. It's gonna.
Somebody asked a good question. How did she get her hand crushed while she was grabbing him? Exactly. It doesn't. It does. His story doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense at all. And I think the jury's going to see that, and I think the jury's going to see how unhinged he is, and how the stalkery stuff that he's doing, and where he's like, I didn't want her to move out, but I wanted her to move out, and I wanted her to do this, and I wanted her to quit the job. And again, it's so over the top. And it's just like, okay, honey, I mean, if this was a boundary that crossed whatever, okay. But it's almost like he got pleasure in her doing that because he could then let his real self out of like trying to control her and embarrass her, and I don't know. It's just kind of, go ahead.
And the hard thing was, so also he wouldn't even admit that he did look up his divorce documents, but I think he didn't want the state to go into, because I don't know if he was looking up the financial aspect. Like, I don't know what aspect of that. He was like, oh, I don't recall.
And for as meticulous as he is, I'm like, oh, so we're gonna forget that. I'm like, you got a whole spreadsheet and can recite the minutes down to the seconds that she was on WhatsApp, but you don't remember that? No, right? Absolutely not. You know, his ex-wife, she was doing cartwheels out that front door. I'm like, I'm sitting here, and I hate to sound this way, but I'm like, I said yesterday in the chat, I was like, the first man that came up to me and said my hair was pretty, I would have had an affair with. If that was my husband, I would have cheated left and right. I'm like,
And that's where I say, just leave. You don't just get your stuff together safely. I don't think he would have wanted her to leave him. And I think that's why he wanted her to quit her job, so that she wouldn't have like financial freedom. So like she would be dependent on him. And he was like, "Oh no, no." Because the state asked if she quit her job, she would be dependent on you. He's like, "No." What? Like that's how mad. Like, you what?
Well, and then the whole thing about, okay, so you know how like after this all popped off, and she's like moving money around and doing this and that. I'm like,
Oh,
well, I'm like, of course she is. I'm like, he tried to kill her. She knows how psycho he is. Like, she knows. Oh wait, I mean, number one, I still have bills to pay. I got to do this. I got to do that. We just lost his income. You know, he's gone. Now he's going to try and come after me. So I'm like, I totally get that. And she's like, when they were like, well, did you want 50% of this or all of this? And she's like, mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, I want custody of the kids. He tried to kill me on the mountain. I don't want him to have access to the kids or me ever again, you know.
And some people were a little put off by how, so most people, I think, thought her testimony was credible. Some people, I think, might have wanted to see more emotion out of her, but I think she didn't want to give it to him, because I think he lives off people's reactions. And her just getting up there, she just said the facts. She didn't play games. Even like, she was even polite to the defense attorney at the end, after he tried to continue to be like, to attack her credibility about when she was asked about any past affairs, and she said none, because she didn't view it as an affair. And so all of that was just
Yeah, Jessa took the words out of my mouth. She gray rocked him on the stand.
she did.
Like, that was the vibe I got, where she was like, and to me it worked, because I'm like, okay, I get where people might be like, why isn't she more emotional? But it's like, she probably had to learn to be that way at the house. After this affair happened, she probably had to learn to, thanks gamer mom, to do the gray rocking thing 24/7. Now hold on one second. I'm gonna shift this like this, and then I'm gonna run grab the puppies just in case it comes back on. I'll be right back up.
That sounds good. All right. Welcome to everyone. Thank you to everybody watching. Make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. And we are having a good time. Let us know if there are any general questions. And I do think she was handling her emotions, and to me it made her sound more credible, and that she was just telling the facts and she wasn't trying to over embellish to like have him convicted. Like, she was just saying what happened. That's how I took it. Welcome, everyone. Gray rocking is when you try to be as boring as a gray rock. So individuals with narcissistic traits, or just people that are trying to push buttons so that a person can be reactive, to not give them that response, you just you don't respond. So when they send a ridiculously long message, you just say, got it. Or like, I'll see you in person. You're not going back and forth with them. You're not giving them the emotional reaction. Do you know, because I've seen a lot of questions about whether or not Ari was in the courtroom or not, because I don't know that she would want to be there. If I had experienced this, I would be, because I didn't experience this and I couldn't keep a straight face with the foolishness that was coming out of his mouth. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100% agree. Okay, now here they're coming back. So hold on. So if you want to say something, Dr. Barry, just be like, look at him.
You're still under oath, and you're still going to continue on with your cross-examination. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm going to publish State's Exhibit 115, page 1. All right, Dr. Konig, isn't it true that on January 9th, 2025, at 9:10 p.m., you used the Microsoft Edge browser to log into Arielle's computer backup?
Okay. Computer backup.
Yes.
So what you're logging into that this exhibit shows is a backup of Arielle's hard drive created in 2011, correct?
No. It's a portable hard drive that she had that had old documents on it.
Okay. And you wanted to go into Arielle's old hard drive to look at the documents, right?
That's right.
And again, January 9, 2025, 9 p.m., correct?
Yes.
Or 9:10 p.m., correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, and this is through a program called Memio, right?
I don't know what Memio is.
All right. Well, regardless, you go in and you look at your documents, correct?
Yeah, I just go in and look at the documents. I don't know what Memio is.
All right. So you go into the folder for Ari, correct?
Yes.
And you go into the documents folder, right?
Yes.
And you go into the divorce folder, correct?
Yes.
And in that folder, you open a document called Notes. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to page 2 of the exhibit.
He's so
This
organized.
is the same folder, correct?
Yes.
Okay, the Ari folder. I'm sorry, this is a different folder. This is the Ari folder and then the downloads folder, correct?
Yes.
And the document you're looking at 9:14 p.m. on January 9, 2025 is called Complaint for Absolute Divorce. Is that right?
Yes.
And page 3 of the exhibit, this is also in the downloads folder, correct?
That's correct.
And the document you're viewing at 9:15 p.m. is called Rosen-Divorce.
Yes.
And again, these
Right,
are all
Kathy.
on Arielle's external hard drive, correct?
Yes.
On February 3rd, 2025, you go back to your prior divorce folder. Is that correct?
I don't recall that at all.
Publishing States Exhibit 113, page 4. On February 3rd, 2025, you go back to your divorce folder from your prior divorce to Jessica Batella Ray. Is that correct?
I do not recall doing this at all.
And this is, again, looking at the account statement from your father's account that you moved money into for your loan purposes. That's correct?
It looks like it's the same credit card. I can't remember if it's the same statement date, but it's that same PK Chase Freedom credit card that we used to transfer a balance into to pay it down.
And the last access date and time from the computer system is February 3rd, 2025 at 8:42 a.m., correct?
The last access date and time from the computer system is that date and time. That's correct.
So between December 14th and February 3rd, there are 4 different accesses to your prior divorce folder on your computer, correct?
From the computer system, yes.
That you have no recollection of.
That I have no recollection of.
But you are looking at.
Go for it.
He won't just say yes.
I know.
And I don't know if the jury is going to notice that, like, because there's a point. And sometimes people will try to interrupt the flow, but when he does it like this, it comes across difficult to me. Like, he won't just say yes, like for everything. And that this is making it longer. Like, because he gives more information when a yes will do. He could just say yes or just say no, but he does a narrative every single time.
Oh, it's exhausting. I mean, it literally today has been like torture because it's just like it's like this for everything. It started off a little bit better, but he's like digressed the whole time. Also, notice how you see how organized he is about this, but he conveniently forgets. Well, I don't recall that. You know exactly how many times down to the exact thing that he went in those files.
If I was the jury, I would want to look at whatever this is. If this is admitted into evidence, I would want to know what he was looking at, because I don't know if they've shown that yet. I don't know if they've shown that file, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd want to as well. Okay, I'm gonna press play.
Arielle's documents on her hard drive about divorce, correct?
Yes, I did look at that divorce folder on her portable hard drive on that date and time.
And during that time period, you're also looking into Arielle's old pay stubs, right?
Yes.
You're also looking into your tax notes that include information about how much alimony and child support you paid, right?
Again, I don't recall looking at a 2018 tax notes during that time, but that tax document was accessed by the system at that time, and that tax document does include alimony and child support.
And you're researching these financial documents and these divorce documents because you want to see how much damage you're going to suffer in a divorce. Isn't that right?
That's not right.
In January, you also review your wedding documents again. Is that correct?
I don't recall. Maybe show me what you're discussing.
He has put it all together.
On January 22nd, 2025, you access your wedding spreadsheet again, correct?
I might have. I don't specifically recall.
Published dates 124 at page 11. The access date is January 22nd, 2025, correct?
That's correct.
And this is another spreadsheet with the same material we talked about earlier, correct?
Yeah, that's another
Guest list, right?
version of the wedding spreadsheet. Yes.
It's got your guest list on it, yes?
Yes.
It's got your task that each of you have to do.
Yes.
It's got the financials, right?
Yes.
See that little smirk? See that little smirk?
And on the same date, January 22nd, 2025, at 3:04 p.m., you view a document called Worthington Konig Wedding Room Block 9.14.18, correct?
I don't remember doing that at all.
You have no recollection.
I have no recollection of doing that.
It's the same date as the Excel spreadsheet, right?
Yes.
We're going to publish dates 124 at page 12. And again, if you can look, the file system last access date, January 22nd, 2025 at 3:04 p.m., correct?
Yes, I see that.
Okay. And in this document, this is the reservation for the venue of your wedding, correct?
That's right.
And it specifically shows how much that cost. Isn't that right?
I have no recollection of what's on that document.
No recollection. Okay, we'll publish to the next page. There's a table in the middle right here, isn't there?
Yeah, and that's the guest room block. So that shows if our guests decide to stay at that hotel, what they would pay under the wedding rate for those 3 different rooms.
We'll move on to the next page. This is basically rules that you have to follow, or what you have to decide
Sure.
what the rules are. And this has an anticipated revenue section, correct?
Yeah, so they had a minimum. So we were holding our wedding at this venue, and they had a minimum revenue that they needed to generate from room reservations from our guests, and that was the minimum.
And the overall cost for your wedding was $55,000 approximately, correct?
That sounds about right. I don't recall the exact number,
Nice. Wow.
but
You were
is
looking
that in that document? Is
Asked
that-
you in general.
No. Oh, I'm just wondering where you got your number from.
The overall cost from your wedding is from your spreadsheets, correct?
Yes.
So you're looking up multiple different spreadsheets with the cost, right?
I have no recollection of looking at the
Did you
wedding
raise your hand,
block
Dr. Berry?
document.
No.
I don't have a recollection of looking at the wedding spreadsheet either, but I could potentially think of a reason why I would have done that.
Can you share?
But I've no recollection of opening that wedding room block and have no idea why I would have done that.
Mm-mm.
The next date that you open the wedding spreadsheet is February 24th, 2025. Isn't that correct?
I don't believe that.
I don't remember opening the wedding spreadsheet, but
You don't recall? Okay. You also open a document called Final Floral Proposal on March 14th, 2025. Isn't that correct?
no, I don't think I did. I don't remember doing that. And if that's related to the wedding, I certainly did not look at the floral contract or whatever. What is it called?
You're saying you did not look at the floral contract?
No.
Go for it.
So were they planning a second wedding? So I'm confused now because I missed a little bit of the cross examine because was he looking at their past wedding documents?
Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but he's looking at the past wedding documents, right?
That's right.
Gary
Okay.
Lewis says, right. He's looking up how much area has cost him. I really think that's what he's doing. And he's probably getting really mad at, I spent $50,000 on a wedding. I've got a spreadsheet here. He's got a spreadsheet for the pantry at home for the toilet paper underneath the bathroom sink.
I don't. So I was married 13. I think this year. I don't know. I was married in 2013, and I don't still have those spreadsheets. It's on a different. I don't still have that. And no matter what the wedding costs, if the marriage is over, leave. I don't care if you spent $1 million. Don't. Wow. And Kathy says he's calculating how much she owed him. But I think I agree with people that said how much she cost him. That it's more of this punitive, like this is my pain. This is my cost. Because he's probably feeling bad about himself. Like after spending all this money, she goes out here and she's having these conversations with this other person. And this is, I think, did they say that was in February he's looking at those things? It's
I
hard
heard
to
January,
okay. January.
but it's several dates. But my take on the date part of this is that he started just like this was over time. Like he's going back and looking at this stuff over, calculating. She owes me. Look what I've done. I'm saying that in my mind. Yeah, look how much she cost me. The whole 9 yards. And just going over and seething. And then I'm talking, he was glued. Whatever he was watching her in real time with WhatsApp, honey, he was glued to that.
And if I was
aside.
if I was a juror, because he's getting cross amnesia, or on cross examination, all of a sudden, I don't recall, but he remembered a whole lot on direct examination. And the state is unable to point out the fact that he's had his discovery and he's aware of like what they have. He's he probably knows what all this the state has, but
When also, again, like you just said, as a juror, he's already presented himself as being very, air quote,
meticulous,
meticulous. I
hands-on.
all this stuff, I know this, I know that. She was on WhatsApp, and he's like, "I don't remember doing that. I don't remember doing that." Oh, no. Because he was seething through all this. He has he is full of rage, absolutely full of rage. And you see how I'm surprised this didn't happen sooner, to be honest, over something more minuscule.
Yeah.
I'm just this is crazy. Yeah, I think the jury's gonna spot this cross amnesia 100%. I don't see how they wouldn't. Are you good for me to go?
For the final floral proposal, is that right?
I 100% did not look at the final floral proposal for our wedding
We're in
in
percentages.
March.
The published states 124 at page 21. The document that we're looking at has a file name of final floral proposal, correct?
That's correct.
File system, last access date and time, March 14, 2025.
Yeah, the computer system accessed it on that date and time. I have no recollection of opening this document and looking at that date and time.
The computer system did all this.
Yes.
The computer system opened this document, is what you're saying today.
I'm not sure what
Where
the
does
computer
access
system
go?
did. It says accessed. That is what the computer
It
system.
says access.
The computer system accessed this document, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, hold on one second. They love to talk over each other in this courtroom. Love to talk over each other. It's the wildest thing. It gets on my nerves.
And I don't know if it's cultural because they don't call it out. So they don't stop it.
Yeah.
And so it could be, and so that court reporter might just be really good at keeping everything, because other court reporters, if this was Utah, the judge would be like, excuse y'all, one at a time.
Yeah.
Like people would stop it. And so they could be used to it. There are some cultures where it's not as, and I don't know for sure, but there are some areas where interrupting isn't seen as. And also his defense attorney is a bulldog. Like he is very aggressive in my opinion, but like he advocates for his client very strongly. It puts some people off, but he zealously advocates for his client.
Oh, yeah.
On January 22nd, 2025, you viewed a UBS portfolio detailing your and your wife's retirement accounts, correct?
That's correct.
And that was a statement from December 2004, correct?
2004?
2024, correct?
Yes.
So in December 2024, you get the UBS statement detailing how much you and your wife have in your retirement accounts. Is
That's
that
correct.
right?
Yes.
And you review that on January 22nd, 2025.
Yes, I do remember that.
And this is actually within a month of getting the statement, right?
That's right.
It makes sense to review the statement, within a month of getting it, right?
Yes.
Do you remember the figures in the statement?
I do not.
Would it help if we go through them together?
Yes.
Okay. States 126. We'll publish starting with the first page. This is just the metadata again that shows you you accessed this on January 22nd, 2025, correct?
Yes.
And again, statements from December 2024, right?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to look at a page detailing your Roth IRA, your Roth IRA next, okay? Okay, here's a summary page, correct?
Yes.
All right, and Gerhardt Konig, you have in this UBS account an Roth IRA value of $8,066.95, correct?
That's correct.
Arielle Konig has a Roth valued at $74,974, correct?
That's correct.
Arielle Konig has a second IRA valued at $164,500.76, correct?
That's correct.
For your account, that's a little over $8,000. Arielle is the sole beneficiary. Is that right?
That's right.
Anything happens to you, she gets 100%, right?
That's right.
For Arielle's Roth, the one that's about $75,000, you are the sole beneficiary, right?
That's right.
Anything happens to Arielle, that money goes to you, correct?
That's correct.
For Arielle's IRA, valued at $164,000 approximately, you are also the sole beneficiary, correct?
That's correct.
Anything happens to Arielle, that $164,000 goes to you. Is that
That's
right?
right.
in January 22nd, 2025, that's about the same time that you're doing all your life insurance work, right?
That's right.
And that's the same, or around the same time that you send Arielle that email instructing her to get a $250,000 life insurance policy, correct?
I did not instruct her to get that. It was a discussion that we had together, and the email was a summary of the product and the person to talk to after I contacted AAA. So I wasn't telling her to get life insurance. It was here, contact this guy and ask for this product to get the life insurance that we discussed.
And you sent that on January 21st, is that correct?
I don't recall the exact date, but that sounds like it's the right date.
On February 4th, 2025, you viewed a May 2022 pay stub for Arielle, isn't that correct?
I'm sorry, say that again?
On February 4th, 2025 at 2:29 p.m., you viewed a May 2022 pay stub for Arielle, correct?
I have no recollection of that.
We'll publish States Exhibit 125 at page 22. This is the metadata, correct, Dr. Konig?
Yes,
And again, the document we're looking at is a pay stub, correct?
that's right. That's one pay stub from 2022 at the end of May.
And this is in your taxes folder on your computer, right?
Yes, that's in the shared drive in the taxes folder. That's correct.
Your testimony days, you have no recollection of looking at this.
I have no recollection of looking at this
And the information contained in this pay stub is only the amount Arielle got paid that 1 month,
for
right?
that 1 month. Correct. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense that I would have looked at 1 month of pay stub data from 2 years ago at that
Wouldn't make
time.
any sense, right?
It would not.
On March 14th, 2025, you viewed a 2018 Wealthfront account statement for Arielle. Isn't that correct?
I don't have any recollection of that.
We're getting closer to the
Published
daily
Case Report
event.
125 at page 24. Now, again, this is about a 2018 statement, correct?
That's correct.
And this is a statement for an account, a retirement account, or sorry, an investment account belonging only to Arielle. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, but I don't even think she still had it at this point in time. So this was a
Objection, non-responsive.
yeah. I have no recollection. I have no recollection of looking at this document.
This document is from 2018, correct?
That's correct.
And again, no recollection.
No recollection.
On March 16th, 2025, you viewed a document, again, about Arielle's retirement accounts, correct?
I don't have a. I might have.
And a published States Exhibit 125 at page 36. On March 16th, 2025, you accessed a document that belongs or that is about Arielle's financials, correct?
This is on my desktop. I don't know what's in that document.
So this document isn't actually even in your taxes folder, right?
Right. This is on my desktop.
Meaning every time you open up your desktop, you see this document, right?
No, I have probably 3 dozen different random documents that just tend to collect on my desktop. If I copy something and email it, sometimes I put it on my desktop for, during that time.
Mhm.
I was not aware that this was on my desktop. I'm sure it was. That's the location of it, and I don't remember. I don't remember what this document is at all.
This document is again from 2022, right?
That's correct.
And this is showing how much Arielle had in her Westinghouse retirement account in 2022. Is that right?
I can't answer that unless I can look at the document.
We'll publish the next page. This is a similar document to one that we viewed this morning, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it tells you in the top right, which I'll zoom in on, how much Arielle had in her retirement account as of a certain date, correct?
Yes, it says the total value of that account. And what's the date?
The date was, the account summary shows 2022 in November, correct?
Oh, yeah.
So this document is about Arielle's retirement account from November 2022, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, I remember looking at this. I did look at this.
Okay, now you do remember looking
I
at
do,
this.
yes.
Okay. And November 2022 is a couple years before March 2025, correct?
That's correct.
It's 2.5 years, right?
Yes.
Now, you've been asked about your research into hiking, is that right?
That's right.
And you testified yesterday that you do a lot of hiking, right?
I do.
Isn't it true that there are only searches and computer data related to hiking between the dates of February 28, 2025 to March 4th, 2025 on that computer?
That's correct.
Well, objection. There was a search range in the search warrant.
Do we speak in objections?
There was a
Speaking-
search range in the search warrant. This question was about the entire computer.
Approach.
Here we go. They also like to approach.
I think it's so that they don't go back and forth directly in front of the jury. Like I think that's why.
Yeah. So Tori came in. She's like, "Have we talked about his testicles yet?" And I was like, "No, but we're almost on that day. So everybody brace yourself because we're almost at the day of the event. It's taken us hours to get there. And this is, I hope the state can ring that in and be like, look, we're not doing this,
What is the
dude."
time frame, Dr. Konig? Between December 2024 and March 2025, the only data related to hiking from your computer is for those 5 days, correct?
That's correct.
And in January 2025, you actually treated a woman in the course of your work for having a rock fall on her at a waterfall. Is that right?
That's right.
Whoa.
You
Okay.
saw the injuries that she got from that rock, correct?
I did.
You saw what kind of treatment she needed, right?
Yes.
I don't think we
And-
didn't know that before, right?
February, at the end of February, that's when you started researching hikes, correct?
That's correct.
Wow.
Published dates states.
This is all making
111.
sense. Hold on. Let's. Okay. This is like, to me, bombshell information. This all makes sense now. So, okay, what do you think? Do you think that he saw that and was like, okay, this is what we're going to do?
So he seems like a planner. Remember Brian Walsh Googling, so he's not Googling redrum, but he is Googling, like he was smart enough to not do the Brian Walsh searches. But I did not know that he had treated somebody for that type of fall. I think the defense will likely come back to say, had you ever treated? I feel like the defense will try to get him to clean that up later. I don't know if he'll be able to, but wow. Okay.
And it says this was not in the pretrial hearing. That's fascinating. So, and there's that little look he does on his face just makes me,
Publishing states 111, page 1. On February 28th at 2:55 p.m., you searched Maui secret hikes, correct?
I did.
Then on the same date at 3:13 p.m., you searched secret hike Waikamai Falls, correct?
That's correct.
Then a couple minutes later on the same day, you move on to Oahu, correct?
Yes.
And you search best Oahu hikes, right?
That's right.
And by this time, you know that you're going to be taking, or you've discussed this Oahu trip with Arielle, correct?
Yes.
And the start of your search for Oahu is best hikes Oahu, right?
That's right.
And And then you go to a website called alltrails.com, correct?
Yes.
And you filter to Hawaii first, right?
Yes.
And then Oahu, correct?
Yes.
And the title of that website is the 10 best trails and hikes in Oahu.
That's right.
Okay. The Palipuka Trail is not in those 10 best trails, is it?
I can't remember, but I don't think so.
Publishing next page to page 5. So
Noted.
February 28, 2025, 3:30 p.m., you click on a YouTube link titled Easy Hike on Oahu, Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail. Is that right?
That's correct.
And just a couple seconds later, publishing the next page, again at 3:30 p.m., you click on a different YouTube link for the top 10 easy Oahu hikes for everyone. Is that right?
Yes.
So first you look at best hikes, right?
Yes.
And then you see these 2 YouTube videos for easy hikes, right?
Yes.
You don't watch these full videos, right?
Probably not.
You don't watch these videos because at next page, 7 out of 10, 3:31 p.m., you're looking up difficult hikes, right?
That's right.
Because easy hikes is not for you, right?
Yeah, the hikes that I found on the Easy Hikes website wasn't what we were looking for.
Difficult hikes are generally more dangerous, right?
Sometimes.
Difficult-
Sometimes they're just longer.
Difficult hikes have rougher terrain, right?
Sometimes.
Difficult hikes have higher drop-offs, right?
Not necessarily.
Difficult hikes can have more exposure, correct?
They could.
And these difficult hikes, these are the kinds of hikes you were interested in, right?
Yes.
Now, your search for difficult hikes brought you to a website called journeyera.com. Is that right?
That's right.
And the first page you looked at on journeyera.com, I'm going to scroll to page 8 of this exhibit.
He remembers
is-
that.
The URL just says Oahu hikes. Is that right?
That's right.
And again, you're listing Journey Era on February 28, 2025, correct?
Yes.
So this is still the first day that you're researching hiking, correct?
That's correct.
And moving on to the next one. Next page, page number 9. You end up going to a page on journeyera.com saying the 35 best hikes on Oahu, the ultimate guide, right?
Yes.
Although the URL talks about the Stairway to Heaven, this is actually a list of 35 hikes, correct?
Yes.
And on that list, you see the Palipuka hike, correct?
Yeah, among 34 others.
And then on March 3rd, 2025, you go back to the journeyera.com website. Is that right?
That's right.
And this time you're going to look at the Palipuka hike page specifically, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. March 3rd, 2025, 7:19 a.m., correct?
That's correct.
And you've seen the website you looked at up on the screen, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to put it up and go through it together.
His throat's getting dry at conspicuous times.
Yep.
We're starting to get to the event. We're getting closer.
All right, this is the front page of the website, right?
Yes.
All right, we're going to go to page 2. When you read this, you saw that sentence that says, the Pali Lookout itself is a popular tourist spot, but 99% of visitors to the lookout don't hike. They just look over the valley. You saw that sentence, right?
I'm sure I did. Yeah.
And then you saw the page that describes the hike. Isn't that right?
That's right.
You read the description?
Yes.
So you read the description that says, the hike isn't necessarily dangerous, but much of the path is on the edge of a huge drop-off. You read that, right?
I'm sure I did.
And you read the sentence that says, does that make it dangerous? You decide.
I'm sure I did. I remember reading this whole article.
So you remember reading the whole article.
Yes.
You remember reading the part that says that the hike spits you out on the edge of a cliff with a huge drop-off.
If it says it, then I read that.
You remember looking at this picture of the hike, right?
Yes.
And you see this picture, and this is what you want to do.
Yes.
This is the hike you want to take Arielle on, right?
Yes.
Next page.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I wouldn't take that picture.
In this page, the author describes and shows a picture of themselves enjoying themselves, right?
That's right.
They're looking out over the entire windward side. Is that right?
That's right.
And this picture on this side has the puka. Is that right?
That's right.
And this is at the end of the hike, right?
I assume so. Actually, from what I've remember from the description is that you can keep going past this for a little while still, but it's close to the end.
And this is ultimately where you want to take Arielle, right?
Yes.
This was the plan, to take her to this section, correct?
Yes.
And to take Arielle to this section of the puka, you have to take her through this section, correct?
Yes.
You have to take her along this trail, along the cliff. Is that right?
Presumably, I never got to this point in the trail, but according to the pictures, yes.
You never got this far in the trail, right?
No.
The plan was to get that far in the trail, though, right?
Yes.
And then you saw the end of the article. Sorry, I'll put it back up. You saw the end of the article where it gives you advice, right? Where it says, be safe going down and take it slow as it can be slippery and the drop looks very unforgiving.
Yes.
You read that, right?
Yes.
Now, while this is all going on, you've also been working on updating the insurance, correct?
Yeah, so we applied at the end of January, and this was March 4th. Yeah, by this time, I think Aries policy had already gone through, and either one, and maybe one of my policies did, but not both.
Your insurance policy doesn't go through partially until March 12th and then completely on March 24th. Is that correct?
That sounds right.
On March 17th, you actually search up Arielle's profile on Facebook again. Is that correct?
I don't have a specific recollection of that, but I probably did.
And on March 4th, 2025, you were also looking at WhatsApp again, correct?
Probably. I was using WhatsApp every day
He never stopped.
You're using
looking at
WhatsApp every day.
for work.
Now, okay. And you testified yesterday about your work bag and the medication that was in it, right?
Yes.
And you testified that your work bag is used for when you're on call, correct?
That's correct.
And you testified that you normally keep medication in there to provide if it's a rush situation, right?
Yes.
And the medication that you keep there can be dangerous, correct?
That's correct.
The medication that you keep in that bag can kill somebody, right?
I'll have to look at the medication that's in there, but a lot of the medications that I use at work can be lethal if not given appropriately.
Well, it's published States Exhibit 98. Can you see the vial on the bottom right of this bag?
Yes, I can.
Do you need me to zoom in so you can read the label?
No, I know what that is.
The trade name of this drug is called Diprivan. Is that correct?
That's correct.
The actual name of the drug or the scientific name is called propofol, correct?
That's correct.
That's the Michael
Propofol
Jackson
is
stuff.
one of the main drugs that actually, I'll use a non-scientific word, puts you to sleep during anesthesia, correct?
It's a very common drug that we use to initiate and sometimes maintain anesthesia.
Propofol is rather famous, right?
Michael Jackson stuff.
Yes,
Propofol is the drug that killed Michael Jackson. Is that right?
that's right.
You've heard of that story, of course?
Yes.
He didn't want to say it.
It is not a controlled substance. That's correct.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
And you actually
Have
have
you
a controlled substance license yourself too, right?
Mhm.
I do.
So you can carry more dangerous drugs than propofol, correct?
Yeah, I don't think I can. I think because my controlled substance license doesn't allow me to dispense; it just allows me to administer. And so, all of our controlled substances are controlled at all of the locations where we work. And so we have to check them out and check them back in, and then document all of the vials that we used during the day. I've never taken controlled substances home. I would never. It's not something I want to get into. So I don't even know if it's allowed under my license, but I could
So,
administer it.
He is giving all this information. If he had just said yes, he wouldn't be laying the groundwork for the fact that, oh, but this isn't a controlled substance, so they're not tracking how much. This isn't something that you have to sign out. This is, if a vial went missing, I don't know if any. I'm adding to this. This isn't what he said, but he's giving too much information. He
100%
just
agree.
is. And chat, I'm gonna need to put my kiddo to bed soon, and so Paul, whenever there's a good stopping point, we can give final thoughts. And yes.
Cool. Do you want to
But
do?
I'm good for now. But I wanna be mindful of
Okay,
yes.
cool. Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah. Whenever.
Cool. So just do this if we're
Yeah.
going and you're like, hey, it's time, just flag me down or whatever.
Yeah, we're good.
Or if they take a break in a minute, then we'll obviously do it then.
Sounds good.
Now, let's take this exhibit down. And let's talk about March 24th, 2025. It was a normal morning, right?
Yes.
You and Arielle weren't fighting when you woke up at the hotel, correct?
No.
You gave her that birthday card, right?
Yes.
And then you and Arielle go to the bakery and get breakfast, correct?
No, we went and got breakfast in the hotel.
Got it. And then you go to the bakery to get coffee, right?
Coffee and pastries, yeah.
And then you and Arielle head out in your rental car up to the Poly Puka. Is that right?
That's right.
You drive up the Poly Highway, right?
Yes.
And you park in the parking lot at the Poly Lookout, correct?
That's right.
Okay. And you knew from your research into this hike that 99% of the people up at that lookout would not be going on the trail, correct?
Yeah, I didn't know the actual amount, but I knew the lookout was popular and the hike was less popular.
And that actually said 99% versus 1%, right?
Where did what say?
The
Oh,
website you researched.
the Journey Ear article. Oh yeah, that did say that.
The website even told you, does that make the hike dangerous? You decide. Is that right?
No, the website when the website said that, it was talking about the trail being next to a cliff, not the trail being some isolated, secluded spot that there's no people.
The website said
99.
you decide if the trail is dangerous, correct?
No, the website said specifically, it's not dangerous if you stay on the trail, but if you don't stay on the trail, you might fall off the cliff. Is that dangerous? You decide.
And you saw that cliff, right?
I did on the picture.
And you saw that cliff was at minimum several hundred feet high, correct?
Yes,
You know, common sense tells you somebody falls off that cliff, they're going to die, right?
that's correct.
And the website even tells you that the hike spits you out on the edge of a cliff with a huge drop off. Is that right?
That's right.
And that photo that we looked at shows the trail going right along the cliff edge, correct?
For parts of it.
And this is the hike that you wanted to take Arielle on for her birthday, right?
Yes.
You wanted to go through the start of the hike, correct?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
You wanted to do more than just start the hike, correct?
I wanted to do more than just start the hike. That's correct.
You wanted to do the whole hike. Is that right?
That was the plan.
You wanted to take Arielle through that cliffside path that we saw in that photo, correct?
Yeah, I wanted to take her on the hike and go with her on the hike and make it all the way to the puka. That was the plan.
Publishing States Exhibit 122. You wanted to take Arielle along this path, right?
That's right.
Mm-mm.
wouldn't you agree that that path is right on the edge of the cliff?
Yeah, it's very, very close to the edge of the cliff.
It's a narrow path, right?
It's a narrow path, and then there's a little narrow strip of grass and rocks, and then there's the cliff.
An empty void, right?
Yes.
Nothing to hold on to, right?
For this part of the trail, not much. I mean, there's some brush on the other side, but you have to really watch your step.
Yeah.
But Arielle didn't go that far on the trail that day, did she?
No.
So Arielle didn't want to hike anymore, right?
Yeah, there came a point in time where Arielle did not want to hike anymore.
Arielle deviated from your plan to go up this part of the trail, right?
I wouldn't characterize it like that.
Well, you planned to go up this part of the trail, correct?
That's correct.
And Arielle didn't follow through with that part of the plan, right?
Yeah.
And at some point, you actually continue up the trail yourself, right?
That's right.
Without Arielle,
That's right.
on her birthday.
That's right.
But she didn't follow you, correct?
No.
She didn't follow you up to this narrow trail with this massive cliff, correct?
That's correct.
And then you went back down, isn't that right?
That's right.
And you saw that she was still there, right?
Yes,
And it was a surprise to you, right?
it was.
It was a surprise to you because you still had a chance to go through with your plan, right?
What plan are you referring to?
Dude,
He's trying to act all stupid, huh?
It was a surprise because you still had a chance to go through with your plan to push Arielle off the cliff. Isn't that right?
That is not right at all.
The area where you and Arielle ended up still had a massive cliff next to it, correct?
Yes,
The area where you took the selfie had a massive cliff behind it, correct?
that's correct.
It would work just as well as the area in this photo to push somebody off, correct?
It would work just as well to push somebody off. What do you like? I don't understand.
He's being so
question.
dramatic.
Somebody would be just as dead if they fell off this part or if they fell off the part where you guys ended up.
Absolutely.
Yes?
They would be as dead falling anywhere along this trail because the cliff is extremely high.
I'm going to take these a bit down. Before we get to the final parts of the trail,
Mhm.
you testified this morning and you said, please do correct me if I'm wrong here, that you were not sexually demanding of Arielle. Is that correct?
ooh,
That's correct.
That is your testimony.
Yes,
You and Arielle went to couples counseling, isn't that correct?
that's correct.
And when you went to couples counseling, you testified about the counseling yesterday, right?
Yes.
And
I don't know where they're headed with this, but it's finally getting juicy after how
It
many
is.
hours today? Like 5 hours.
I'm good. I'm good, kiddo. Dad can put him to sleep. we will be okay. I'll come off stream real quick to be like, love you.
I was like, okay, now we finally got the heartbeat of it. First of all, when they showed, I go hiking all the time. I'm going hiking this weekend. That trail they showed right there.
I wouldn't do it.
No, especially I'm looking at it. I'm like, I wouldn't want somebody that I cared about. I mean, not that I would care if, like, you know, I wouldn't want anybody, but like with your person, I'm like, there's too many what ifs running through my mind to even think about doing that.
If it had something you could like hook into, because sometimes
Yeah.
there are like, because I've done obstacle courses or like treetops and stuff. Like if I can hook into it, I don't mind. But just to be up there not being safe at all, no, thank you. And so yes, kiddo, he gets to stay up till 9 p.m. And so he's taking a bath and all that now. I might turn off my camera for a second to get his to get something ready for him a little bit later. But I'm here, Paul. As long as you're here, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm good. Now this has a heartbeat. I mean, so before Dr. Barry came on, I was like, girl, I don't know if I can make it. I'm getting a headache. I'm doing this. And then I ate some food and then having Dr. Barry to talk to him, like, I'm feeling better. And then now it's like, okay, here we go. Cause this is putting me to sleep in the stream that I was on myself on earlier. Cause you already see how this is. It's like, You know, he's
it's
over
painful.
explaining. He's being dramatic. What plan? What are you talking about?
But I think that makes him come across less credible.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's trying so hard to not try hard. You know what I mean? And it's
And
so fake.
and it's coming across controlling to me. Of like, "Oh, what plan? Oh, somebody could die at any point." Like, no, like that wasn't my plan. So
Thank you,
painful.
Kay. Oh yeah, it's like, and then when he was asking him the thing where he's, well, first of all, I got so many thoughts going through my head. I am dying to see where the state's going with this conversation. When he's like, "Now you said that you didn't demand adult activities, right? And then and you went to this therapy." I'm like, what is bombshell is he getting ready to drop?
It probably came up in therapy about I'm guessing intimacy came up in therapy, but they just can't mention the him pressure. They can't mention the pressure part. They can't
Mhm.
mention they can't bring up that part.
And you,
When you get on the stand, you find out.
oh yeah, that's the thing. When he was sitting there talking to about the Michael Jackson drug, and you could tell he didn't want to say it. He's like, that's the famous or whatever. You could see he was like, he's gonna call it the Michael Jackson drug. I gotta pretend like I don't know, but I guess I have to admit it. But like you said, Dr. Barry, now because he's over explaining everything, and that's always a sign of guilt, in my opinion. And he's telling on himself. When they over explain, they tell on themselves.
So, but then there are times that where to me, he's being evasive at
Mm.
times, and it is difficult.
Oh man, I can't believe they went up there for a sidebar. Watch him take a break next. It's gonna kill me. It's like finally the juicy part. I'm like, all right. I don't know where they can go after the like. So after he testifies, in my opinion, I'm like, are they just gonna rest? Because
The defense might have some more witnesses. I don't know. The judge, I think, is preparing the jury for it to go into next week. That's my understanding from the chat. I just know that because of the chat. I think the state might recall Arielle. They might recall her because her testimony is very different. And there were things she couldn't get into because he hadn't taken the stand. Now that he's taken the stand, then there can possibly be some more questions. The defense might call they might call Emil on direct. I think that because there was a witness that they were talking about maybe attending virtually if the defense wanted to call somebody back. It's a lot.
let me tell you what. I mean, so whenever the defendant takes a stand, and obviously each of them are very different, this guy is such an interesting study and watching someone that's whatever a situation he has going on, right? That makes him him. It's fascinating. See, look at the look on his face up there. Like he's playing this out in his mind or something. It's like it's fascinating to watch it just unfold on the stand. He's such a character. And that one part where he was like, well,
He
no,
winked at somebody.
yeah. It's fast. His
Maybe it's
facial expressions, and when he was saying something earlier about I didn't could tell her to do that. We decided to do the insurance, and I was like, "Well, you can call this guy," and I'm like, everything around that house was like an ultimatum, like a, "Well, no, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to make your life miserable if we don't do it this way." Okay, she probably gave in a lot to keep the peace around the house because you
I'm
have to with these kind of people.
I mentioned that people pleasing can be a stress response. That I think her admitting, yeah, you say it's an emotional affair, sure. Like I think it was just I don't want to argue about anything anymore. Like,
Mm.
sure, you want me to quit my job? I'll think about it. I'll look into it. I'll apply for some jobs. And eventually I think it was just like, no, like I like my job. I have opportunities here.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, because when he was like, she admitted it was an affair, I'm like, did she though? Or did she just want you to shut up?
Just to clarify one more time, you testified this morning that you were not sexually demanding towards Arielle. Was that correct?
I think the question was if I ever demanded sex of Ari, and
It's-
I've never
it's-
demanded sex of Ari.
So you never demanded it, right?
That's right.
I think they have information
How often
that
did you want to have sex with Arielle?
There was no specific number
she
of
said.
times.
It was up to every other day, right?
She said that.
Was what up to every other day?
You wanted to have sex with Arielle and of an amount up to every other day. Isn't that correct?
At some points in our relationship, we had sex, I'm sure, every other day for, that period of time, but there was never a point in our relationship where what's the question?
Look at the look on his face, y'all. Look at the look
So-
on his face.
In December
He's seething.
2024,
Okay.
after you confronted Arielle about this relationship,
Yes.
you still wanted to have sex with her every other day.
That is
Correct.
not true. We had sex for a portion of December, and it was not every other day. And I never demanded to have sex with her every other day in December or at any point in time in our relationship.
And after December 24th, she did not have sex with you again, correct?
After December 24th, we did not have sex again.
We.
And
Mhm.
you testified yesterday that you went to couples counseling, correct?
That's correct.
And you testified that there were other issues, right?
That's right.
And one of those issues was an intimacy issue, correct?
That's correct.
This is so cringy, y'all.
And the couples therapist you saw, at least one of them was named Gemma Cannon, correct?
That's right.
And she had a meeting with you in December 2024, right?
She met with both of us on December 27th.
December 27th. So this is the same day as you've had this continued fight with Arielle, right?
We had, I would say, two arguments, two big arguments in December, and one was around the middle of the month, and the other one was on the night of December 26th, and then we argued about it again on the morning of December 27th, right before counseling. That's correct.
So you went to counseling with both you and Arielle, correct?
That's right.
And you both told the counselor what your problems were, right?
Yes.
And the counselor, Miss Cannon,
Objection. If we get hearsay, if we're getting into what somebody else said.
Something's not coming. Overall,
Excuse me? No.
it's not substantive. Overall,
okay, so you and Arielle both told the counselor what your problems were, right?
Yes.
Your problem was the same problem you've talked about a lot already, right? The
Yeah.
emotional affair.
The main issue that I wanted to address was the aftermath of the emotional affair, which included a lot of different issues in our relationship. It wasn't just one thing. It was a big
And Arielle also stated what her problems were, right?
that's right.
And the counselor listened to both of you and came up with a plan. That's right.
That's right.
And the counselor's plan was to deal with the intimacy issues first, correct?
The counselor's plan was to deal with the issues that Arielle brought up first. Yes.
That was the intimacy issues.
Yeah, part of it.
And then she would deal with the affair afterwards, right?
Yes, and not afterwards, but because again, these are not just like things you check off, off of a to-do list. The affair was causing a lot of issues in our relationship, and addressing those issues were going to take probably years. And the issues that Ari brought up, similarly, was also not just going to be a check off the box thing, and it's probably going to take some time. And the counselor said that she's going to start off with the other issues, and not start off with the affair issues. But it wasn't just like we were going to finish the one, check it off the box, and move on to the next. There's overlapping issues, and it's all to do with the relationship. And so it's not fair to characterize it like we were going to finish one and then move on to the other. But we were definitely going to. She said, we're going to basically let's prioritize talking about the issues that she brought up first. Gerhardt, are you okay with waiting to address a lot of the issues to do with the affair until later in therapy? And I said, absolutely.
And you testified yesterday that those issues about the affair were never really resolved. Is that right?
No. Yes, that's right.
So talk about Arielle's issues, and the issues you brought up were never resolved, correct?
I'm sorry. Ask that again.
The first priority was Arielle's issues, the intimacy issues, correct?
The first priority was Arielle's issues, and intimacy was one of them.
And then your issue, the emotional affair, was never addressed, correct?
And our issue, the affair, wasn't adequately addressed ever either. And neither were the emotional issues. And I have to say, part of the affair.
I just want to say this real quick. Notice how he said our issue and he said the affair. Like he's just dead set. He's like, this is not some much. This is an affair. It's us.
And the
that
aftermath
it
of
wasn't,
the
it wasn't him having the issue. It was both of us. This is our issue. And I think,
Yeah.
I don't think she saw it as being as big of a deal as he saw it.
Mm-mm. No, I'm sure the jury doesn't either.
I had emotional issues, intimacy issues as well with her.
Maybe
So
the other-
the intimacy issues went both ways. And when we
Just
I'm gonna ask my next question.
go ahead, sorry.
He said he had emotional issues and then fixed it to intimacy. I think emotional was correct. Yes, this was his second marriage. Can you pause it real quick? Oh, his lawyer. I don't. His lawyer doesn't make it look like that's going well. So the question was about patient-client privilege in court, and I do believe so. I don't think they're going to call the outpatient therapist, but I think with couples therapy, the couple is the counselor, and I think Arielle talked about things that came up in couples counseling, and I think some of this has been a part of her divorce filings as well. And so the therapist isn't breaking any privilege because the therapist isn't talking about it. And if a therapist is subpoenaed to court, they can talk about, sometimes privilege can be waived if a therapist is subpoenaed to court. We often try to get both parties to agree that we can provide testimony, but if they won't, I've had a judge compel me to provide the testimony because my client didn't sign off on it. All right, that's just general information.
Oh, interesting. And isn't it interesting also with this how we were on the mountain, we were up there, and then now we're in the bedroom. And I'm like, where is he going with this? Like, what happened? Did it switch so quick?
But I think it's connected. I think
That's where I'm trying to is there some evidence that he tried to do something on the mountain? Like,
no, because I think he'd have more charges. If he had tried to do something on the mountain, there could potentially be more charges. I don't think, but I think he was frustrated that the affair wasn't being resolved. He still wasn't getting any I think this is his frustration and anger building. And he's over here looking at how much his wedding cost, and he's just getting more and more mad. He's looking at life insurance. And so I think this is the narrative the state is building, that I don't think he views her as valuable anymore. I hate to say it, but I think, I don't think I don't know, that's very sad. Very, very sad.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. I accidentally moved the
Okay. Let's go back to the hike, Dr. Konig.
Okay.
March 24th, 2025, you testified about the hike yesterday, correct?
Yes.
You testified that you and Arielle had a massive argument, right?
Yes.
You testified that on her birthday, Arielle brought up the subject she knew would upset you, right? I'm sorry. You didn't testify to that, but that is what happened, correct?
That is what happened, yes.
You testified that Arielle brought up that she wanted to go back to work and speak to Jeff Miller again, correct?
He was going on a trip.
She was still working, so she wasn't trying to go back to work. She wanted to start traveling with him again.
And your testimony is that this is what Arielle decides to bring up on her birthday trip with you, right?
Yes.
And that she decides to bring this up on the Palipuka Trail, right?
That's where she brought it up. That's correct.
So you testify that you have this argument, you separate, and then you come back together, right?
Yes.
You take this selfie right by the cliff, correct?
Yes.
And then you testified that Arielle pushed you, right?
Yes.
And you testified that you could barely hold on, right?
That was her testimony.
I almost went off the cliff.
And then you turned around and you testified that Arielle was 5 to 10 feet away, right?
By the time I turned around, she had backed away and she was not. And yeah, that was part of why I was concerned that that was a shove and not a accidental thing.
And then you approached her. You went towards her.
I did.
So you think you about get pushed off a cliff, and then you go 5 or 10 feet to get to Arielle, right?
I moved towards her. That's correct.
And then you say that Arielle pulled you onto the ground, right?
That's correct.
You're bigger than Arielle, right?
Yes.
You have at least, or at the time of the offense, or at the time of the incident, you had at least 20 pounds on her, right?
Yeah, roughly 20 pounds.
You're stronger than her, right?
Probably.
You're a doctor, so you know that men generally are stronger than women, correct?
Yes,
It's just a scientific matter of testosterone, right?
that's true.
But you testify that Arielle managed to pull you to the ground and she pulled you on top of her, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Then you testified that Arielle wouldn't let you go from on top of her, right?
That's correct.
You testified that she wrapped her legs around you, right?
She wrapped at least one leg around me. Yes.
Yesterday you said legs, right?
I think I said leg. It was at least one.
And you testified that she grabbed your testicles, right?
She did.
And that she wouldn't let go, right?
That's right.
All this time, you were on top of her, right?
That's correct.
Stand up.
And then you testified that Arielle took that rock. I'm going to grab Exhibit 2 right now. You testified that Arielle took this rock and hit you in the face. Isn't that right?
That's right.
And you said the first hit, she got me kind of good, right?
That's right.
And you said she kept trying, right?
That's right.
And you testified you tried to start blocking it, right?
Yes.
And you testified she actually got a couple more hits in, right?
Yes.
So, but you don't know how many hits, right?
No.
One good hit to the side of your face, correct?
That's right.
Publish States Exhibit 236. This is a photo of you from March 24th, 2025, correct?
That's right.
This is immediately after the police arrested you, right?
That's right.
This is
Looks
the
like
closest photo of you after Arielle hit you with
He slapped himself up
this
some.
rock, right?
That's right.
That's not rock. Thank you,
Publish
Sapphire.
alongside States Exhibit 1.
Oh, her. This might be graphic. I think it's going to be her picture. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so on the right side, we have you after Arielle got one good hit with you with the rock, right?
That's right.
And on the right side, we have you after Arielle kept hitting you with the rock and got a couple other less good hits. Is that right?
That's right.
On the left side of the screen, you testified that you hit Arielle 2 times, right?
That's correct.
On the left side of the screen, we have the results that you say you hit her only 2 times, correct?
That's correct.
Let's move on to the next day. We're going to publish states, I'm sorry, not the next day. We're going to publish states D30 on the right side. I'm sorry, defense 30 on the right side. Okay, look at the right side of the screen, please. This photo on the right side of the screen is you at the hospital, correct?
That's correct.
You at the hospital on the night of March 24th, 2025, correct?
That's correct.
This is you at the hospital after Arielle got a good hit on you with this rock, correct?
That's right.
It looks like dirt.
On the left side of the screen, we're going to put up states 23.
It's going to be bad.
This is Arielle at the hospital, correct?
That's right.
This is Arielle at the hospital after your 2 hits, correct?
That's right.
And you say only 2 hits to Arielle, right?
I only hit her 2 times.
This is the front of Arielle's face after those 2 hits, right?
Yes.
Did you do that?
States 22.
Thank you.
Put up states 27. This is Arielle's hand after those. This is Arielle's hand after those 2 hits, right?
Yes.
And lastly, we'll put up on the left side states 1, 2, 8. On the left side of the screen, that's Arielle on March 25th, 2025, correct?
I don't know when that picture was taken, but I'll take your word for it.
That's Arielle the day afterwards, right?
Like I said, I don't know when that picture was taken, but I'll take your word for it.
We'll publish on the right side states 239.
Oh, he looks just fine. The other way. One more
Flip
time.
it upside correctly. And this is you again, correct?
Yes.
He's
This
just
is you on
ready to
March
go.
25th, 2025, right?
Not even a
I think
scratch.
that was like the night of, like just after midnight, but
Makes it
it
worse.
was after the previous picture. That's right.
This is you one day after Arielle hit you really good with this rock.
2
isn't
times.
That's right.
Take the recess.
I'm sorry.
Should we take the recess?
That was a good time. Ladies and
For the
gentlemen,
day?
afternoon recess. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get
Oh,
to
afternoon.
8:45.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. I gotta put the boys in the thing.
No worries. So he is claiming self-defense. That is what the defendant is claiming. And I think the state is doing a good job showing how this, because I think he's trying to say that he feared for his life. And I don't think that was just like, let's say it did happen the way he said it. What? When you're on top of her and you could stand up, push her back and maybe leave? I don't know. Like this is so even if his story was completely true, it still doesn't make any sense.
I mean, and them putting those side by side pictures up there like that. I mean, evidence speaks for itself. He's gonna sit up there. He's got a little blush on his cheek, talking about she got a lick in.
Did you see his attorney?
Yeah, when your attorney's over there just shaking his head, it's not a good sign.
Not a good.
Not a good
And
sign.
He might have been upset about the judge's ruling or something, because sometimes he pouts. Like sometimes
Yeah.
he gets upset like, about rulings and things. But wow,
I mean, this is wild. But again, he's over there just, I can never wrap my mind around how, again, whatever he's got going on in his situation, like how they view themselves in their narrative. Because I think that like he believes it. Like it's hard for me to be like, doesn't he see this for what it is? I don't know.
And notice, so I am shocked. It is hard for me to look at those images and I don't know her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, like my heart would be breaking and like, especially if my actions cause something like he doesn't seem to be like, but I think he feels justified. I think he feels like it was self-defense. It was based on his claim, based on the defense he's using, it being self-defense. I think he thinks like, yeah, like she came at me first and I had to protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, and then his whole thing about like, oh, she pulled you down on the ground and latched onto you. The state is skirting around something with that, where they're tinkering to just put the idea out there. Because first of all, that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, my opinion is he's lying about all that. She didn't push him. She didn't pull him down on the ground. She didn't grab him by the, you know what? Like, none of that happened. You know, and it doesn't even make sense. Well, she pushed me, and then, you know, I was like 5 to 10 feet away, and then I came back and did no, none of that happened at all. He tried to ambush her. And which she was like, because she already knew, like, her little red flag thing was going off, like something's weird. You know, something's not right. And like, I didn't want to get closer to the edge. I didn't want to do this. And that first thing when he grabbed her was like, I'm sick of this ish and get back over here.
and there are some people like him that view divorce as a failure or like why should I have to share our kids, or they would feel like it's my kids because of her affair, because he's still viewing it as an affair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And the way he said that, like the way he keeps saying, we are. Go ahead.
And Hannah pointed out a good point that yesterday on Direct, he talked about being so upset about hurting the woman that he loved. And then today, like there was no comparing side by side. He's just like, yeah, that's, yeah, I'm saying, yeah. And he's
Mhm. Literally. He's been on that stand. So think about this. He's been on that stand all day. He'll be up there all day, possibly even tomorrow. Because I feel like yesterday, what time is it? It's 9. I can't remember what time they finished yesterday, but I felt like they finished maybe at 9 o'clock at night last night. It was something like that. Obviously, there's some break now, and it's almost 9, so they'll keep going a little bit. But what I'm getting at is he was in the stand for a while. He could very well be back on the stand tomorrow for some portion of it. You know, and he's just up there. I mean, just going along. But again, to me, when you see the smirks on his face, the I don't know what you call it when you grimace your face. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know. That's when he lets his real self be shown, in my opinion. Whatever he's trying to hide, I don't know.
It
Wow.
is a lot.
I mean, it is so much. I wonder how long do you think the jury is going to take to do their thing? I think a few hours.
If I was
2,
the
3.
jury, I would want to be nosy. I would want to read those messages. So they didn't read the messages into evidence. So I would want to better understand the state of mind of and also I would just be nosy. Like I would want to read the messages if
Mhm.
I was on the jury, because they're talking about all these messages. He's talking about this. I would want to see what he saw. And so yes.
Yeah, I would. Oh, excuse me. I would want to see. I'm nosy too, and on some of these cases where I feel like, well, it's going to take them hours to get through the stuff. Sometimes they don't do it, and I'm like, I would have wanted to read all that.
And
You know,
sometimes they just want to go home. And I think sometimes it depends on like what time they get the case. And some jurors want to like sleep on it. Do you like some jurors,
Mhm.
because I think he talked about the kids on purpose, and they kept bringing up if he's convicted, that could potentially impact him never seeing his kids ever again. Do you know? And I think they were trying, because sometimes a person on the jury that might impact like where it's hard for them to do that. But it's like you did this to the mother, to these children, you know, to your children, to the mother,
Mhm.
and it's so much.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. So for anyone who's just joining, we're currently on break. Dr. Konig is on the stand. We're still in the States Cross. They have finally gotten to the day of the event, and the trajectory of it. We just finished looking at side-by-side pictures of what he claims is an injury to his head and face with her getting one whack with the rock in, and what she looked like after he got a couple of them in per him on her head. And yeah, that's
I don't
looking
think
at her.
I don't think she ever had the rock in her
Mm,
hand.
no,
I don't think she ever had it.
no, she never tried to do that. She was unfortunately put into the position of having to react to him and literally like, because remember how she was talking on the stand where, and she didn't say this, these were my words, but it was almost like she knew if he was able to knock her out, she's done
Mhm.
because he's just going to roll her off the edge,
And
and so
yeah.
go ahead.
And somebody asked, sorry about that, if
No.
all the evidence will go back with them, and I think the exhibits do. And but every case is different, or the jurors can request every jurisdiction does it different. Lisa, I don't think his medical license, I don't think anything has happened with it yet. They often wait until court proceedings are finalized. I don't know if he still has his medical license. This incident happened last year. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine. It's like, and again, he's facing life in prison. So it's like, I mean, this is a serious, I mean, if he had his way, she would be dead right now.
Mhm.
This a lot of things would be different. And what's scary is in these kind of situations, especially in these like what like hiking things like this. I mean, that people could probably do this way more often than we're aware of, right? Oh, they fell. Oh, they did that, whatever. I, I'm still curious about the propanol because if I was him, this is what I always like to think. If I was him, I would not have wanted to have put any kind of chemical in the person's body for them to find out. It would have been a straight up, no, they're going over the edge somehow. How, I don't know, but that's what's going to have to happen.
And he's charged with second degree attempted. So he's not charged with first degree. I had to Google it because when I Googled attempted capital M for Hawaii, it said life in prison. But the maximum sentence for second degree is life in prison with the possibility of parole. That's his maximum sentence if he is convicted.
He has talked everybody's ear off in that jail unit. I'm talking, they can't get him down to the prison fast enough.
So, but a person like him, he might come off like, because if you don't listen to him too close, he can almost come across normal. Do you know it? Until you start listening real good and you're like, wait a minute, did he just say what? Like,
Oh yeah.
because he makes it sound like he's a reasonable person.
Oh, yeah.
And he likely has, if he is talking about anything, I just like it is painful to listen to him. It
Well,
just
see, one thing that's interesting with him, and again, like I don't know what he's like, obviously, like I don't know the man, right? But because I know he's an anesthesiologist, because I know he's a doctor, some of his demeanor and stuff seems very doctory.
Mhm.
And because of the way he comes off, he's a very slick, like when you want to talk about superficial, and I don't know what he is or whatever, I'm not trying to diagnose him, but like you talk about like superficial type narcissists who maneuver on the very superficial level of life. He's a very slick one, right? Now, living with him, working with him, interacting with him, probably living in a jail unit with him. Yeah, you're gonna like get in there. But yeah, he's probably able to manipulate these other men around him or whatever. He's probably like, oh yeah, I'll write that for you. You got a couple of soups? How about a honey bun? You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's probably going around to everybody in there talking about, yeah, man, I did this for her, $50,000 wedding. Bah, 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 bah.
Did you follow the Ali Abulabon case?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's fine. He
I
was
don't
a
think I did.
TikToker. It was because his direct testimony, if you ever wanted to find an old case to be like to watch the direct examination or like the to watch just his testimony is wow. But I'm trying to think of another example of somebody that is like a malignant narcissist, where as soon as you know them, or as soon as you see them, you kind of feel it.
Mhm.
There's some other people where there's this insecurity that kind of comes across.
On the
Let's see them
status
coming
and
back.
level, all full
Great.
counsel of record are present. All jurors have acted accordingly. Mr. Barnes, can you continue? I have no further questions. Mr. Otake, any redirect?
Shocking.
Yes.
Oh Lord, here we go.
They're mad about
Okay,
something.
Gerhardt, I'm gonna just try to
Oh,
jam through this. I
redirect.
know it's been a long day. You were asked about going into detective mode. Why did you go into detective mode when you
doesn't
saw these things and learned about what Arielle had been doing or communicating, the way she was communicating with Mr. Miller? Why did you go into detective mode?
Digging my hole.
I just needed to find out details about the relationship.
For you, it was something you were searching for information.
She was obviously deleting things and trying to hide things, and I just wanted to understand what was going on, really.
The extent of the
Yes.
relationship. You were asked about the text messages from 12/1 that started, and that was a Sunday. Remember that?
That's right.
And you were asked about, well, I would say good morning, and then it went on throughout the day, Christmas lights, what you doing all day long until good night. And you were asked that, there was nothing sexual in there. Were you still concerned that on a Sunday your wife was communicating with another man all day long,
Yeah. Yes.
even though there wasn't?
Move to strike the last answer. Granted, now sounds to restrict him.
Did the text messages still concern you, even though the word sexual wasn't in there?
Yes.
Sustain. And move to strike the last answer. Granted. that
Were
sounds
you
to-
concerned by the text messages on that Sunday between your wife and another man?
Same objection. Sustain. That's leading.
He has trouble not leading.
How did you feel about the text messages on that Sunday between your wife and another man?
I was very worried.
There's that coughing of the clearing of the throat.
Why did you tell Bryant first? Why did you reach out to Bryant?
I reached out to Bryant because he was one of my best friends, and I needed advice, and I wanted to give him a heads up about what was going to happen on the trip.
He didn't tell you not to. That wasn't a good idea.
When you and Arielle talked about her quitting her job, what was your interest?
My interest was for her to terminate her relationship and her contact with Jeffrey Miller.
Were you going to be perfect? Were you okay with her getting another job?
Absolutely.
Was there a conversation about her looking for another job?
Objection leading. Sustain.
Did you and Arielle talk about what would happen if she quit her current job?
Yes.
And what did you guys discuss?
She was going to look for another job.
You were asked a lot about her move, like this conversation about her moving out and then not. Initially, what was your thoughts about her moving
trying to
out
not leave.
initially when you found out about it in San Luis Obispo?
I would have preferred if we could deal with the affair in an isolated environment, and so it would have been preferable if she had moved out.
Did you eventually change your thoughts on that?
Yes.
You were asked about monitoring her communications. Is there anything you learned in the audiobooks about that?
Yes.
What did you learn from the audiobooks about monitoring her communications and her sharing, giving up some privacy during this healing period?
I learned that as part of rebuilding trust in a relationship after an affair, especially in the digital age, it is going to require proactive giving up of some degree of privacy by the cheating spouse.
Now,
All these words, affair,
You're
cheating
asked about-
spouse.
in December time period, certain things that on your computer, when they ran this access search, indicated it was accessed. Okay, so I'm going to quickly ask you, I'm not going to spend hours on hours on it.
Okay.
Ask you a few questions about it.
Yeah.
The things about Reddit and, the audiobooks and things to do with infidelity, Why were you looking up these things in late December?
Because I was working on our relationship.
Were you still having a hard time with it all?
I was.
You know, I asked Detective Numa about how the search warrant, the computer search only pulled the terms, the relevant terms, and your name wasn't on there. Do you believe, like during this time period, you were also looking at your own financial?
I most certainly was.
Beyond the scope and expertise.
Do you believe you were also looking at your own financials at the time?
Yes, I most certainly were.
But you heard Detective Numa say that search only pulled the ones with her name, yeah?
Yes, I heard that.
You mentioned at the end of the year, sometimes you're saying, you're asked about, I just want you to explain it more. So at the end of the year, when you're doing some tax planning, would you commonly look through certain files?
Meeting. No, over, you can answer that.
Yeah, and not just tax planning, but just financial planning, like budgeting and things like that, and kind of reviewing like, you know, how our retirement accounts were doing, and it was more than just tax planning.
You know, there was a retirement account of Aries that they brought up. So
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, I think you're trying to explain, but
Thank you,
why
Kay,
do
for
do
being a
have
member for
recollection of why
18
you might have
months.
been
That's
looking at
awesome.
her
Thank
retirement
you.
account?
Yeah, so she
Tell
had
the jury why.
she had like almost $200,000 in her retirement, and when we purchased our house, we purchased it through UBS actually. So they actually do home loans as well, and as part of that, they convinced us to move all of her retirement into one of their accounts, which is a managed account. So they charge a fee on it, and they wanted me to move my retirement account out of my account too when I terminated my job, but that was after we closed on the house. So we didn't end up doing that before we closed on the house. And I was glad because Aries' return at UBS was very poor for 2024. And so I was looking at her return in 2024 that she got at UBS, and I was looking kind of at historical data. And then I was also looking at her return that she used to get on the same retirement money when it was still held at Westinghouse. And it was part of the process to decide if we were going to switch her retirement account to a different account and provider to get a better return.
Okay. You know, all these financial documents they brought up, were you trying to like see if it would be cheaper to kill her than divorce her?
No.
But that was what the state was kind of getting at. they were. Is it cheaper to?
You
It's always
mentioned
cheaper
Darbo
to
and what that meant.
or divorce. Always.
Why did that term resonate with you?
Oh, because so it felt like she was deflecting and then also blaming me for now the affair, and then also bringing up other things. And one of the threads that I read on Reddit talked about that idea, and then it used that acronym, and so then I was like, oh. What is this? So I looked up the acronym, and that's what it was. And so then I searched that acronym on Reddit to kind of get more information about people dealing with that specific issue.
You were asked about the 2018 Word document about the 2018 taxes and about the child support and alimony. Well, we talked about this the other day, so just really quickly, what other information was on there?
Oh, everything to do with our taxes. So yeah, I don't know if you want to go into specifics, but
So it wasn't just the alimony and child support.
that's right.
Do you typically wake up early in the morning?
Yes.
You talked about this the other day, but after looking at the Palipuka on the website, what again? Why did it seem like a good one for you guys? What was the reasons?
Yeah, thought that was going to be a really good hike for us to do because, like the prosecutor mentioned, it has these expansive views of the entire East Oahu. I'm sorry, West Oahu. No, East Oahu. And that was kind of one of our goals, is to kind of explore the island, but kind of see it, so we can get an idea of what the island looks like. It was a relatively difficult hike, which we're kind of used to, and we liked hikes like that. That's like a little bit out of the ordinary. And it ended up, at this really cool spot where we could take a picture. It was close to Waikiki, and it was a short hike.
Okay.
Fit into our schedule.
To do other things that day.
Yes.
1 second. Now, you were asked about whether or not during the conversation when you confronted Arielle about the affair in San Luis Obispo, prosecutor asked you if at some point in that conversation you called her a lying bitch and a whore. Remember being asked that?
Yes.
And was this a long conversation you guys had?
Does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, I would say we had the conversation about the affair for the entire time we were in San Luis Obispo.
But then that first
on
night,
and off,
That first night, did that conversation get heated and emotional?
It did.
Okay.
It did.
Let me ask you this. It was just the two of you there, right?
Oh, when yes.
Yeah. And you were asked if you
And I'm sure his lawyer knows where he's going with this. Somebody asked a question up there about something to the effect of, when you start to see signs like this in an individual, like, run, because so any type of really intense control. I have a video. The audio wasn't that great, but specifically talking about how sometimes after an affair, the spouse that was harmed can become the person causing harm to the other person because they want to punish them. And if you like, that's not healthy. So a person that's hurting, you just can't hurt other people. And because him hurting her, it didn't make him hurt any less. Like, this is a classic sign. All that he did, telling friends, emailing the other, nothing was enough. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And he's not feeling any better. And it's just, and I have resources in the description if people need them, about like how people can get safe if they ever experience, situations like this. And so, yeah.
if you called her those names and you wanted to tell the jury that you did.
Yes.
You could have said, no, I didn't call her that, but you wanted them to know that you did call her those names, right?
Testifying.
Sustained.
You testified to this jury. Well, you admit that you called her those names.
Yes.
And then did the conversation continue, and did you guys try to work through it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, doctor. That's all the questions I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
Any requests based on what was asked on redirect? Just a moment.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, before we begin, may we approach on the record?
Yes.
I mean, they're like, look, they're just gonna make that noise. But there it goes. Yeah, I bet he's up there talking about, okay, we want to ask something about the demanding of stuff, whatever they're trying to work out. I'm surprised that the state was like, okay, that's all our questions.
I think them ending with the pictures, the comparison and everything,
That was
I
good.
don't know what else, because he wasn't going to change his story. And what they could potentially do, I don't know if they will recall Arielle. Like, I don't know if there is anything that they would add there. Um I don't know how Hawaii is because I think Sarah Boone wanted to say self-defense, but she didn't. Like he can't. She wasn't able to prove that she was in harm,
Mhm, mhm.
and so she wasn't able to get the self-defense jury instructions. I think she got something else. I think maybe, but I don't think she was able. Or if the judge did allow it, like it was. I don't think she got to it. I could be wrong. I forget. It was a long time ago.
Let's see what he's doing on the stand. He's like, I'm going to reorganize things. I'm going to look over here. I'm going to stare at the microphone. He's listening to what they're trying to say. He's like, can I hear them? What are they saying about me? Let me control the narrative. I just reorganize this stuff on the desk. Fix my lips. He's been... Wait, never mind. Hold on.
I think Sarah got TV instructions. Thank you. Thank you, Hedgehog.
He's like, look.
I don't work with couples.
Dr. Konig,
I've had
we're
individual
very limited.
clients.
I'm going to go through two situations. Situation one, if Ari divorces you, you're likely going to be paying child support, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And you know from your last marriage, that's very expensive, right?
It's not that expensive, but
You paid almost $30,000 a year in 2018, correct?
it's not a reason why I wouldn't divorce her if we had a good reason for it. Is all I'm saying.
If
Yes,
Arielle
sir.
divorces you, if she divorces you, you're likely the one that's going to be paying child support. That's correct?
If we ended up getting a divorce, I would be paying child support. Correct.
If Arielle ends up divorcing you, you don't get anything from her life insurance, correct?
Paul, if you can pause.
If Arielle, if we
I wonder if the jury will notice that the state asked if Ari divorces you, you'll have to pay child support. And he said, if we divorce, like he wouldn't let it stay with her leaving him. I don't know if the jury will even notice that, but he kept flipping it. I don't know if they'll notice that. I heard that part. So if she decided to leave, I don't think she would get alimony, and he would likely try to not pay alimony because of the claim of the emotional affair. I don't even know that she would try to apply for anything like that. But yeah.
Very observant. Very good. That was a good one. That was a good one.
get divorced, neither one of us gets either one of our life insurances.
Arielle divorces you, you don't get any of her retirement accounts, correct?
If we get divorced, well, that's not true. I no, if we get divorced, Arielle might get some of my retirement account because my retirement account is much bigger than hers.
The question was, if Arielle divorces you, you do not get her retirement account, correct?
This is a question of law. It's not that's overruled.
I know that the retirement accounts are going to be, I know that retirement account division is part of divorce. And I know that there's a lot of things that go into that calculation. I know that my retirement account is much bigger than her retirement account. And I'm not sure what portions we'll be able to keep because it's based on when the contributions were made and things like that.
You know that you're likely not going to be taking her retirement if she divorces you, correct?
Like I said, I don't know what's going to come of all that. It's a complicated. It's much more complicated than the life insurance issue, for example.
And you know that if Ari divorces you, a likely outcome would be 50-50 custody, correct?
It depends on the circumstances of the divorce.
You knew before March 24, 2025, that if Arielle divorced you, 50-50 custody is generally standard, correct?
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I would have been advocating for.
Second scenario, if Ari dies, you don't pay any child support, correct?
Yes.
Very basic question.
If Ari died when?
If Arielle Konig dies, you're not going to be paying her any child support, correct?
Yes.
If Ari dies, and yes, I would not be paying a dead person child support. Yes.
If Arielle dies, you get the $250,000 life insurance policy she took out, correct?
Yes.
That your suggestion, correct?
Not my suggestion to take out the life insurance policy. It was a joint decision.
Not based on her testimony. I
If
don't
Arielle
think.
dies, you get $250,000 from her retirement, correct?
Yes.
As the sole beneficiary, correct?
Yes.
If Arielle dies, you get full custody of the kids, right?
If Arielle dies, I'm the only parent left. Yes.
No further questions.
That was a good ending right there. That was a good ending.
If you get convicted of this charge,
Correction.
she
Hang
gets
on,
she
hang
gets
on.
full custody.
Approach.
There might be a fist fight up in here, y'all.
Approach.
He said approach. There might be a fight. Judge might be swinging. That's what I'm talking about. It's so they're just talking over doing this. Go ahead.
And so somebody asked, I talk about Bruno, didn't he have more life insurance on himself? But that's common. So my husband has more life insurance because he's the one that normally pays the mortgage. And so like if something happened to one of us, if something happened to him, it would be harder for me to replace his income than for him to replace mine. And so, yes. I'm a little bit loud. Can you close my door, please? I love you. Good night.
I say, I'm trying to go to sleep.
I know. And my door was open.
He's like, man, court must be really riled up today. And mom's in there just making all sorts of racket. What case is that? She's just in there hooting and hollering.
He normally likes it because normally I go down because we have a basement. So I'm on the second floor and we have like a main level and then a basement. So I normally go down to the basement at night. And so he normally likes it when I'm right next door. Exactly. He's like, Mom, shh. But my door was wide open. And he's just now getting into bed. Okay. So he just came upstairs. He just had a conversation with Dad. Yes. If you listen to my stream, sometimes you will get to hear me parent.
I love it. That's wonderful.
The judge definitely did yell. Nick L. Like the judge was like, approach. Like the judge because the defense I think was trying to plant that because I think it was Catherine McBanawa because there was somebody that wouldn't convict her the first time because they wouldn't convict both parents. They didn't want the children because I think Sigfredo, is it Sigfredo? Yeah, Garcia was her boy. That was her ex or because they had kids together, I believe. From the Charlie Adelson case, there was a juror that didn't want the children to like not. So they wouldn't. There was one juror during her first trial that wouldn't convict her, but then she was retried and she was convicted.
Let's send the kids off to live with a murdering parent.
I agree that the son's testimony and the defense is trying to attack the son's credibility, but they did it in a way. I think even the dad didn't want the defense to go too hard because the defense he can let somebody have it, and he was kind of gentle, like as gentle as he could be. And I think that was, and I don't know if he already knew the plan was during his testimony, during the father's testimony, that they already had planned that it was going to, that the son misheard. That was going to be the narrative. I don't believe it. I don't think he misheard.
You were asked about.
Thank you, Gorilla Girl Mike, for being a member for 11 months.
Yes.
Love your boys?
Yes. More than I can describe.
Excuse me?
More than words can describe.
The tears, maybe.
Do you want to fight Arielle for 50-50 custody in the divorce?
Absolutely.
Okay. You were asked about
no questions.
If she died, you would have got $250,000.
They're going to bring
How
up
much money
if he
would
died.
Arielle have gotten if you died?
1.5 million.
Over 2 million, including the life insurance and the retirement.
Let's talk about that. How much life insurance did you take out on your life for her?
1.5 million.
And that was in this January to March time period.
Yes.
During that time period, you decided to take out $1.5 million of life insurance on your life for her, right?
Yes.
You had more retirement than her.
Yes.
And if you died, that would go to her.
Yes.
They brought up child support. Throughout, when you were your two older kids, they asked you about that. After you and their mom split up, did you pay child support?
Yes.
Did you feel it was the right thing to do?
Yes.
Did you want to do that for your kids?
Yes.
If you and Ari got divorced, would you be willing to pay child support?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you do financially whatever you needed to do to make sure your kids had a good life?
Yes.
Pause it. If you can. I don't know if they can use this testimony because she wants, if he is convicted, she wants a portion of his retirement because he's not going to be able to pay child support.
Mm.
And so I don't know because he's saying he'll do whatever it takes. So if you are convicted and you are unavailable, are you going to agree? And so I don't know what her lawyer, but they are still married, and I think that's because you don't want to wrap up the legal case the divorce case until this case is wrapped up, because custody, child support, all of those things are going to be involved in finalizing the divorce. And so after this trial, I think she will move towards finalizing the divorce. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Gerhardt.
Any other questions? No further questions. Doctor, thank you. You can return back.
Wow. So there you go.
What's
Mr.
next?
O'Connor, does the defense wish to present any other evidence?
Can we approach?
Sure, come on.
I mean, they will stay up there at that bench. They will stay on that bench. You can't get them away from. What was the trial we just finished watching where they practically lived at the bench? Was it Corey Richards? I don't think so. What was the one before that? I don't know. There's one of them. Who's that? Is that his dad?
Is that his parents? Because I know his parents were there yesterday.
Or is it her parents?
They're sitting behind. I would think
that might be his.
because her parents testified, and I
Okay.
think they live in Maui. Like they live on a different island. Yeah,
Katie
people are
guesses
saying-
Bamfield. Bamfield was at the bench. Sorry to interrupt you.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was Bamfield trial. Yeah, but they lived at that bench. They had a little campsite, little campfire, marshmallows over the thing, s'mores, you name it. They made it real homey.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to release you for the day. It's a long weekend.
Oh, it's a long. Oh, that's right.
Oh, they don't come back on Friday.
I'll give you some rest this weekend. I'm going to have
Oh.
you back on Tuesday. We'll
Tuesday.
start up at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. That is April 7th. And based on my discussions with the attorneys, we expect to wrap up the presentation of the evidence on Tuesday. The case will be submitted to the jury sometime on Tuesday for deliberations. So that's what we're looking at in terms of the schedule. And it feels like a long road, but we're actually ahead of schedule. So I do hope you have a good, restful weekend. Again, there's a lot of coverage. Don't watch any of the coverage. It's on when you're having dinner. Turn off the TV, walk out of the room. Again, your decision must be based on the evidence presented here in court. So the same three rules apply. Don't talk to anybody about this case. Keep an open mind. Do not try to learn about this case outside of the courtroom. All of you, have a safe drive home. Have a good long weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday. All right.
Okay. So hold on. Well. So Tuesday, it will be going to the jury. Depending on what time, I'd say probably by Wednesday, like their version of noon or whatever, is when you'll have a verdict. I just, so for me, it always works this way. When the judge, they do all their stuff and he's telling the jury instructions and he's like, this is the things that have to be here to do blank. That's when and obviously the closing arguments, but that's when it really clicks in with me. Like, do I feel like they really got this or not? And so, of course, watching it, I feel like, oh, please, again, the son's testimony. I mean, he confessed to the son, period. That's his own son up there saying, yeah, dad called and he said that he just tried to unalive her. He wasn't ever going to see me
And then
again.
called me back and said, did I tell anyone? Because his version of that was different. He didn't say, he said the son told him what he's like, he flipped that a little bit. But it makes more sense the way the son said it, that he called him back to say, hey, did you tell anyone? Yeah, I told Ari's parents and they're on their way to, and that makes more sense. And so,
he was stomping around when his son told him that too. He was like, oh, why'd you do that? He probably didn't say that to the kid, obviously, but he's probably thinking it because again, like we oftentimes see in these, they have all this time while they're in jail, number one, to concoct a story and look at the evidence and like, well, I could say this and I could say that and blah, 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 blah. He was up in that mountain for 6 hours, running around, doing whatever he's doing, his bloody shirt, hiding needles, doing this, doing that, calling people, confessing, talking to God, whatever he did. And before he turned himself in, and then he sat in there concocting all this stuff over time. I can assure you, whatever evidence he's got his hands on, he knows it like the back of his hand. Okay,
then conveniently doesn't know some stuff.
Exactly. Well, I don't remember that, honey. That's page 4, dissertation 5, paragraph 3. It's like, it's just crazy. So, well, we will be. So now, tell me this. Today's Thursday.
Yes.
So no court tomorrow or Monday, so they'll start. Okay, got it.
So I don't know if they're going to meet, and I won't stream this, but if they're going to talk about, if they're going to go over jury instructions, because they'll have to agree. So they might have a hearing at some point if they haven't already agreed on jury instructions. Yes. So.
Yeah. So this is so we're going to sign off and, do our thing. And tomorrow at noon, everybody, on my channel, I'll be streaming Afro Man rewatch trial from noon to 2. We're getting through that. So brace yourselves. We're making our way through that one.
Do you and Kathy talk about it tomorrow?
Sunday night. Sunday night, Kathy from Gossip Rumor and Innuendo is coming on to talk Afro Man with me. Cannot wait. That has been just this is me the whole time. Just mouth on the floor. So very excited over that one. But thank you once again, Dr. Barry, for coming and hanging out and talking. It's been so much fun to do this with you. Thank you, Sofa Squad, for hanging out, and thank you, Psych Nerds, for hanging out. I greatly appreciate y'all. And I will see y'all on the flip side. I'll see some of you tomorrow, and then we'll be doing it again. So y'all take care, and we'll talk soon.
The pillows are fluff thanks to Miss Emily. The couch is wide enough, join the family. It's all love while we laugh at Perp's criminalities. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup at hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. Oh, please. The puppies need me. Oh, oh, please. My body is rejecting none of that fancy credential stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup and hey, hey, hey. Come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough. puppies need me. Hold please. My body is rejecting none of that fancy credentialed stuff. I'm just here for the cringe binge. Hey, 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 welcome to the Sofa Squad. Sipping from the cup that, hey, 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 come laugh with the Sofa Squad. Can't roll my damn eyes hard enough.